What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It's truly appreciated. Nasty loss tonight by them boys. Losing to the Boston Celtics 127-102. The captain, 22.6 assists. Josh Hart, 24.7 rebounds. It's a lot I want to say about this game, man. That's all I want to say. I appreciate everybody coming through rocking with me tonight, man. Knicks are now up in the series still 3-2. We will be back Friday night in the Garden for Game 6. Jeremy, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. I thought Gravity, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Everybody, don't panic, man. Don't panic. Don't panic about tonight. Don't panic at all. I'm gonna give you the breakdown. I want you guys to pay attention to everything LV's got to say. Okay, everything. I thought the Knicks started off great tonight. I thought they matched what Boston was giving out, right? Because we knew they were going to come out ready to go because they're the champs, right? And I thought that second quarter when Boston went on a 13-2 run, I thought, okay, we got a ball game. It's 59-59 going into half, right? So we come out the third quarter. I thought it was also an evenly matched game, right? Disc Grover, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. So coming out from half, right? I thought it was evenly contested. And then that 9-minute mark, they're in the bonus, right? And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. How are they in the bonus? And then I'm realizing how they're calling every ticky-tack foul, like every little bump. Brunson can't get a call to save his life. OG's going to the rack. They're not giving any calls. Cat can't get any calls at all. But as soon as you bump Boston a little bit, they're giving him a foul. So I said, okay, let me see how this third quarter plays out. Let me see what happens here. The Knicks lose that third quarter 32-17, and that is the ball game. Boston, I believe, shot, I want to say they shot like either 16 or 17 free throws, somewhere between 16 and 18 free throws. I don't think the Knicks shot any, maybe one or two. The captain, one of the superstars in this league, gets 5 fouls called on him in that third quarter. 5 fouls on the captain, one of the best players in this league, and he fouls out of the game. He hasn't fouled out of a game all year. He is one of the faces of the league. Huh? Like, I had to watch the game. I had to do a double take on a couple of things that was happening, man. Like, I said, wait a minute. This can't be happening like right in front of our faces. And it was blatant what they were doing. It was blatant, man. Now, if you look at the stat sheet, the Knicks shot 40 free throws, but then they started getting a lot of free throws in that fourth quarter because they were in the bonus, but the game is over. And then on top of that, the captain fouled out like with 7 or 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, right? So now the Knicks are getting every call. Every call. Now they're getting every call in the fourth. The game is over, my man. The game is over. You guys think money lines don't matter? You guys think that? Where they do that at? Eric Green, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Orlando C, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Brunson had 5 fouls. Cat had 4 fouls. I mean, it was it was bad, man. I mean, it was really, really bad. This Rover says he should have taken out Brunson in the third. This Rover, the damage had already been done, man. I'm sure Tibbs. I can't even get mad at Tibbs because I'm sure he saw it too. The damage was already done. So I think he did that, this Rover, because he was trying to keep him in, because he was like, yo, man, we got to kind of like get a little run together here. But we couldn't get a run because we weren't getting no calls. None on that end of the court. They were getting everything on the other end. So what happens is, when you get into the penalty like that, guys, this is just easy to kind of identify. It kind of limits you playing aggressively defensively. It does that. So now you're not going to be on point as way as you should, because you're worried about causing fouls, because if you foul, whatever the foul is, they're going to the free throw line. That was with 9 minutes left in the game, left in the quarter. But now you go down offensively, and they have the freedom to play as aggressively as they want to defensively. So they could push, they can grab, they could do a whole bunch of stuff and get blocks and everything like that. See, Cornette, he said 7 blocks. Yo, my man, he was coming and helping a lot. And a lot of those times he was helping, the guys were getting fouled. But the refs didn't want to call it, or for whatever reason. But it was very obvious, man. It was very obvious. And you don't want to jump on that end and say that. But all I'm gonna say is this, guys. You got to pay attention, man. It was 59-59. The Knicks were playing really, really well. And the way we kept playing and how we were playing, it looked like we was going to close things out. Then that third quarter happens. And it wasn't even Boston. It was the calls. Then we got our momentum. Then they're able to block shots, play aggressive defensively, get to loose balls, hit open threes. Because now they kind of got us by the balls, because we're over the limit. So now they could do what they want to do. Now they can freely play, and we're kind of like pumping the brakes on certain things defensively as far as aggression goes, because we're afraid of the whistle being blown. The pace was off. Like, they were blowing the whistle every single time on the other end. So it throws you off. But on their end, they could be as loose as they want. It's controlling pace, right? This is easy to do for the refs. Like, this is, and I refuse to always blame the refs, but that third quarter was insane, man. Insane. It makes sense, though. It makes really, really good sense. When is the game? Friday night, right, guys? Friday night, Game 6 in the Garden, 7 o'clock, 7:30 for the league, prime time. They want to make money, man. They want to make them dollars. They know this is going to put eyes on television screen. The Garden's going to be packed. They're going to have all the revenue. Think of the amount of money that's going to come through on a Friday night. This is what this feels like to me, man. That's what that third quarter felt like. They were not going to lose out on the possibility of Friday night Garden, Knicks, Boston ratings, right? This is what that third quarter felt like, because it was insane, the amount of calls that were being called on the Knicks, and it was insane that Brunson picked up 5 fouls in one quarter. He went into the quarter with no fouls, guys. I'm going to say it to you again. He went into the quarter with no fouls. How does he pick up 5 fouls? The rest, if they call 2 on him, they're going to, or 3, they're going to swallow their whistle. They're not going to give him a 4th. They're not even going to give him a 5th. They're going to let him rock, because they understand, ratings wise, everybody wants to see Brunson play. And then he gets fouled out. They said, whoa, we don't want him trying to do captain comeback here. No. We want this to go into Friday. I'm trying to find something here, man. I'm trying to find something here to say exact, but that's what that third quarter felt like. Now, granted, okay, cool. He could have took Brunson out in that third. After he picked up the fourth foul, they took him out. I could have sat him down, but the damage had already been done. So I see why Tibbs kind of left him in to say, all right, man, let's see if he can, get us, put together a little run for us to try to get things back and maybe kind of get a little headway and going into that fourth. And so I understood the direction that he was trying to go in there. But the reality of the situation was that the game was over after that, man. The game was over. It wasn't even a situation of like, okay, let's see if the Knicks can come back. I knew the game was over after that. And I was saying, okay, let's get ready for let's get ready for Friday night. That's in all honesty, that's what it felt like. We get to get the Tibbs in a minute, man. Get the Tibbs in a minute. But let me go over the stats with you guys really quick, man. It was a disgusting game. Just a disgusting game. The Knicks shot 35% from the field. They shot 40% from three. They shot 80% in free throws. Mitch did really good tonight too. Though Mitch played well. Ojanobi had a horrible night. Bridges had a horrible night. I mean, all the guys, they the first half they were playing great. That third quarter threw everybody off, man. It was obvious after that, everybody lost their aggression. They just didn't seem to be doing things right. Their rotations were off. Like it was just really, really, really bad game, man. Rebounding was pretty even. It was 44-40. They beat us. Assists, they had 27, R 17. Yeah, man. Yeah, this was one of those that you kind of makes you raise an eyebrow a bit. This Rover is not third quarter, third foul. Rover, he picked up all 5 fouls in the third quarter, all of them. He picked up all his fouls in the third quarter, man. This Rover said before him. Yeah, listen, listen. Me and you are on the same boat, but tonight's not on him. I can't even get on him about that. We lost the lead in the second, LV. No, listen, I know that. That's what I said. We were up by 9 in that second quarter. Boston made a run, 13-2, right? Which is cool. This Grover, I'm not mad at that. They're gonna make a run. That's fine. We just gotta remain in striking distance. What I saw in that third quarter was hilarious. Like I was laughing because I could not believe how blatant it was. Like it was insane, like what was going on. Because the Knicks were right there. They were right there in striking distance for them to really take this game over. This Rover said he just let them run up the court and bomb him in threes. This Rover, here's what happened, man. You talking about that third quarter? This Rover said, yeah, that's why JB should have shot down after that third foul. I could see that. But I understand it's a closeout game, right? So I understand that Tibbs was trying to keep the momentum because it started slipping away, right? And I think things were happening so fast, man. I can't even be mad at Tibbs because I was watching the game and I'm like, yo, what? Like the third quarter was sickening because every single call they were getting, like it was bad. It was bad. You sit Brunson down, you're trying to stop the bleeding. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand how Tibbs is looking. And if I'm Tibbs, I wouldn't have thought the refs would have let it go like that. They let it get real bad to where they started just giving fouls out to Brunson like candy. Like candy. So, it was to the point to where I'll be honest, after that third quarter, I kind of was like, all right, game's over. game's over. Game's over. Like it was too obvious. And then Brunson fouled out. I said, forget about it. He's never fouled out any game. Like it's this Rover says, I still very much blame Tibbs because he didn't bother with timeouts. Once again, no adjusting the defense, and of course, zero offensive scheme as usual. Yeah, I thought he should have called some timeouts. I think he could have called some timeouts to slow down and run. I could see that. I could see that. I think everything happened so fast, though, this Rover. Like, you understand, they were in this Rover. They were in the bonus, like, with 10 minutes left in the first half, man. I mean, in the third quarter. Like, it's insane. Lionel Monos, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Nasty loss by them boys tonight. Knicks still up 3-2 in the series. Back Friday night for Game 6. This was LV, man. He took 9 minutes to call a timeout in the third quarter. Listen, that's a good point. Yeah, he could have called a timeout to stop the bleeding. I agree with that. He could have called a timeout to stop the bleeding. It's ill, man. Listen, if the third quarter felt like a bad dream, man, didn't it? Like it just was bad, man. That third quarter was like insane, man. The great one, what's going on? NBIC, man. Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Nasty loss on the boys 127-102. Orlando C says it's simply a must-win Friday night. Orlando C, man. What's going on, man? But I appreciate you coming through Rock with me, Orlando C, man. Hope all is well with you, sir. I think they're gonna win Friday night, man. I think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna win Friday night, Orlando C, man. I'm not worried at all, man. I think this is, you don't want to say this, man, because you kind of like don't want to. I think this was all in the league's plan, man. It felt like that tonight, man. It felt like the Knicks were going to lose no matter what they did. No matter what they did, they was going to try to find a way. It was insane that third quarter. Insane what was allowed in that third quarter. And the Knicks were playing really, really well. And they were playing good enough to where I said, okay, I think we're going to get these boys tonight. What happened in that third quarter, I was like, wait a minute, what? I said, that's a foul? How is that a foul? I said, yo, my man, the same play was going on down there. Why aren't you calling both ways? Then foul on Brunson. I said, yo, wait a minute. Dogs, he's a star player, man. Like they never call on star players like that because he's the one that keeps eyes on the television. He's the man. And then when he fouled out, I said, okay, it's very obvious they had a plan here because they can't allow him to have a free reign to do what he wants to do in that fourth and bring the Knicks back because they saw it too many times in this. The league is trying to get a Game 6 out of this to get that revenue on Friday night. That's what this felt like. And so it's heartbreaking because it was kind of hard to watch the game after that third quarter. And then when the game is over, they start giving Knicks all these fouls. I'm like, yo, the game is over, man. And it was the same calls that was going on in the third that they did not give them. NBIC says, you guys still don't get it. All right, please elaborate. I really want to hear your breakdown of this. Very interesting, sir. So that's how I felt about tonight. That's how I felt about tonight. Very, very weird game, man. Very, very weird. It was weird, man. It was just a weird game. Because even with Tatum, the Knicks didn't look that bad in the third quarter. So how like I was just sitting there like mumbling. I was like, I'm mumbling right now. I was like, wait a minute, what? That's a foul. How? It's the playoffs. Like they was calling it like it's the regular season game in that third quarter. but for them. And when did Luke Cornett become Shaq? When? Blocking shots, dunking. Like, I'm like, yo, my man. I'm like, you know what? Give him the win, man. Give him the win. Let's get back home. Close this thing out. It was insane, man. Insane. Judas Revenge, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Judas Revenge says, I think we should have kept JB in the game when we had the lead earlier. You talking about in the second quarter? That second quarter, you should have kept him in the game. That second quarter, I mean, they made a run at the end, but I don't think that had any impact because, excuse me, the game was tied, man, in the third quarter, man. Judah, he needed some rest. I mean, the game was tied. It's 59-59. Brunson had no fouls in the third quarter. How is he picking up 5 fouls in the third quarter? They never do that. Never. And what I mean by that never is that the refs know who's got what. They understand that, and they understand the pace of the game. Ratings, they know, okay, we're not going to foul this guy. He's the one that keeps eyes on him. Everybody wants to see Brunson play. It was very evident that they wanted to make sure that there's not going to be no comeback tonight. Very evident, the way they were blowing the whistle. With superstars, they get away with a lot of stuff. It's just because they're superstars. That's what Brunson is. So he's going to get the superstar whistle. He didn't get no whistle tonight. How many times did Brunson go to the line tonight? Brunson was 7 for 9 tonight from the line. But that was also, too, that was first quarter, and that was fourth quarter. That's when he was really cooking because the Knicks didn't get no fouls in that third. I mean, yeah, like I think he had to give him some rest, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was that third quarter, man. Not really so much the second, the third quarter, because the Knicks were playing well. They were right there in striking distance. When they got into the bonus with 9 minutes left, that's what changed everything. Because now the Knicks, Judah, it took away the Knicks. They couldn't be aggressive the way they wanted to defensively by fighting through screens and stuff like that. They didn't allow them to really be aggressive with them because they were calling everything. You understand what I'm saying, Judah? So that takes away your aggression. So then offensively, you're allowing them to just flow. They can grab, they can push, they can help, they can do all that stuff. So it gives them the freedom to be aggressive defensively. Whereas you can't because you're already in the bonus. And then on top of that, your captain's picking up fouls left and right. As soon as he breathes, he's picking up a foul. And it just so happens the Knicks play Friday night, 7 o'clock, 7:30 game in the Garden, which is going to be on fire for the league to be there, for the stars to be there, for the money to come to the city, for the ratings for the league. Like, come on, man. Like, this is you served it up on a platter right there for them. The biggest play on the court, Cat plays soft today. Yeah, man. I think Cat struggled. I think it was a couple of things, man. I think, and this is where I think it falls on Tibbs, right, Judah? He's got to make sure that he gets Cat touches. Like that's what's got to be very, very important. It can't just be we just running things. You got to know, like, all right, we got to establish him in the post. I don't care if he's getting pushed out of there or whatever. He's got to get his touches down there. But if you as a coach are not identifying that, that's where, to me, Tibbs drops the ball. You got to really, really focus on this is what we're running. This is what we have to do. That's your job as a coach. You got to get him established down there. Because if you let Brunson do what he wants, what is Brunson going to do? He's just not that type of player. You know what I mean? You got to know who he is. So you got to make sure you're calling out plays for that. That's what you want. And I know he coaches that way, lets guys do what they want to do, because there was a couple of times I saw a Deuce pushing it up, and Cat is clapping at Deuce like, yo, give me the ball down in the post. Deuce swung the ball the other way. I said, yo, my man, what are you doing? This is the all NBA guy right here. You're just a guy off the bench. Yo, give him the rock. He's getting $60 million. What are you doing? Deuce ain't even thinking to pass it to him, Judah. He thinking swinging the ball. That tells you, but that's coaching. You know what I'm saying? So we know where Tibbs is limited. So he definitely dropped the ball tonight. NBIC, here he goes, the Heat Rock. I told you Brunson is not a superstar. Here we go. He is just elite. Okay, wait. He's not a superstar, but he's elite. I thought the superstars are elite. Okay, I'll continue. If he isn't scoring, toilet paper. Okay, he means he's trash. I get it. Boston exposed Brunson's lack of defense. They will go at him now, and you will see how the game shifts. NBIC, they've been going at him. They've been going at him. They've been going at him. The game hasn't changed. They've been doing the same stuff. The game was called differently today, sir. That third quarter changed everything. They've been leaning in and putting and pushing Brunson off and shooting fadeaways and all that other stuff. And the refs haven't been calling nothing. Now they're calling everything. Brunson's just bumping the guy. They're calling it. Jaylen Brown is flopping. So that flop that he did from Cat, and they called that a foul? Insane. I was just laughing at myself. OG Anunoby went to the rack. Remember he put his knee up? They called that a charge. Yeah, my man, that's a basketball move. He's going to put his knee up. How's he supposed to jump? Just straight up. He's jumping off the one leg. He's going up. He's going to make contact. That's on him. He ain't kicking his foot out. He put his knee up. He's trying to finish. It's one of those nights, man. It's one of those nights where you have to tip your cap to the league. This, come on, man. This is too easy to realize. Judah says, Drew Holiday is on Cat. He has the punishment to paint. But you know what though, man, Judah. That's where I really, really have to put all that on Tibbs, man, because Cat is not getting the opportunity to do that. You got to run plays to where you say, okay, Brunson, we're going to set a double screen for Cat. Same thing. We're going to come down. We're going to slide on baseline. Bridges or OG, come down, set that screen on Drew. We want Cat to come down that post, let him establish himself. Cat, get busy. Everybody clear out. The double comes, somebody cut like Josh Hart, or have Deuce or whomever, or not Deuce, OG or Bridges swing up to the top. Cat, you hit them if the double comes. I mean, this is simple hoops, man. This ain't hard to figure out. They do this in middle school. That's it. Set the double screen. He comes over. You let him get busy in the post, man. Get a bucket. That's it. That's got to be called out and run. So a lot of times the coach has got to go out there and say, do this, do that. If that's not done, then J Deals, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Nasty lost some boys tonight, 127 and 102. Gravity says those garden tickets are too high to miss out, LV. Yo, listen, Gravity, man, that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen, you got to think. I want to ask you guys something. Let's just be honest with me. You think the league is making more money off of this series than all the other series right now? Off of Cleveland and Indiana. You think the league made any money off of that? They made some money, but not the money you think, right? Do you think the league made money? Steph is hurt, so no one's really watching that. You think they're making money off of Ant Edwards and no Steph Curry? You think they're making money off of that? You think they're making money off of OKC and Denver? They're not making no money off of that. They're making money off of Boston and New York. That's where they're making their money at. Remember, they said the league's not doing good. The numbers and the ratings aren't good at all. At all. At all. So the game that gets the most ratings, the most viewings, and the most action is this series. That probably broke the league's back that Tatum went down with that Achilles. That broke the league's back because they said, oh man. So now, I wouldn't be surprised they try to push it because They want to keep this is where they making money at. Remember, guys, geographically, right? Let's just, LV's going to go deep on you guys here. Geographically, right? Most of the people in this country live on the East Coast. Most of the people in this country. They're not in the Midwest. It's a lot of people, but not the way it is in the major cities, right? We're speaking, Philly, New York, of course, D.C., Boston, right? Major cities where there's a lot of people, right? So most people can't go to the games because it's too expensive. But the viewership is on an all-time high because this is market one, New York, and of course Boston. So there's a lot of eyes on this game. The whole league is watching. No one's really watching OKC and Denver. People are watching, but not like that. No one's watching Indiana and Cleveland. No one really cares. New York and Boston are making the money. So this is easy to figure out. This is not hard, guys. This ain't. I know you want to believe that it's all like, no, man. No, this is dollars and cents. That third quarter said that to me. Jay Supreme, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Tough loss to the boys, 127-102. Yo, Jay, word up, man. He said, I'm pissed off. He said the refs took Brunson and Cat out of the game. Yo, Jay, that's what I'm saying, Jay. I've been saying this is easy to see, man. Jay, they couldn't defend the three well tonight, Jay, because they had their hands tied. They was in the bonus with like 10 minutes left in the third, Jay. So now you can't play aggressive defensively. You can't. You touch them, boys. You blow on them. They getting a foul. They going to the free throw line. It was like it was the third quarter just started. They was already in the bonus. Brunson picked up 5 fouls in the third quarter. Brunson has never fouled out of a game. How does he foul out? Like come on, man. Come on. This is insane. If no one sees that, this is easy to figure out. Easy. Gravity says the series is the moneymaker. Yo, I'm telling you, man. And usually I don't say that, right? Because I want to see a good game. Like I want to see a good game and see everybody play. But it was too close. Like it was too close. The Knicks, if they called it straight up, right? Called it straight up, the Knicks would have won the game tonight. The Knicks would have won the game tonight. It wouldn't have been if you allow Brunson to be Brunson and let them really cook, and you ain't calling that nonsense, the Knicks would have won the game tonight. The league knows that. They said, pause. We can't. We gotta, because what they got going on Friday night? What? They got to put on some bogus game that no one's gonna watch. Their ratings are terrible this year. Everyone knows the league is not doing good ratings wise, but they know for a fact that everybody's gonna come see Boston, New York. It's easy, man. This is not hard to figure out. There's no way. Listen with Tatum, they didn't beat us this bad. Look at the game. Look at the game, man. Even with Tatum, they didn't score just like this. Come on, man. You got to pay attention, guys. This is not hard to figure out. NBIC, here we go. He says, and the refs have always dictated the game, especially now gambling is legal. Remember what happened just last year. Boston came back from a 3-1 deficit and won the chip eventually. So, look at that, guys. NBIC is agreeing with LV. The refs did dictate the game tonight. Agreed. This is easy, man. Like this is not hard to figure out. You giving Brunson all those fouls. Listen. Everybody out there is a star, right? The biggest star on the court outside of Tatum now is Brunson. Brunson's the biggest star. He's the biggest star on that court. Second is Brown. Next is Cat, right? But the biggest star on that court, the best player out there is Jalen Brunson, right? How does the league allow him to get that's why Jordan never fouled out. That's why Magic, those guys never fouled out. Those guys were the eyes to the league. Everybody who came to watch the game, they want to see them play. The league wants to see Brunson do what he does. That's what's going to bring viewership. How do you allow him to get fouled out in the game? Don't you want to see drama with him doing him and kind of coming down and possibly bringing his team back? Don't you want to see that? Nah, they can't have that happen. That's too close. That's too close to reality because Brunson will win the game. He's done it already this year. Clutch player of the year. They can't allow that. So they got to get him out the game. This is easy. This is not hard to figure out. The Knicks have already proven their resilience. and how locked in they are to win games like this. With no Tatum, there's no way they beat us. Not like this. I mean, Gravis says, hopefully the league will keep selling Garden tickets so we can ride the wave to the finals. Agreed. Agreed. The great one, Brunson is not better than Brown and Tatum. Let's be honest here. Okay, pause. I didn't say Tatum. I said Tatum's gone. Focus with me, NBIC. I said, so now the biggest star right now in this series is Jalen Brunson. He's a bigger star than Jaylen Brown. He is. He is. Now, yes, Brown is, finals MVP. He's an all-star. We get it, right? But right now, this second, the man is Brunson. Brunson's going to be second-team All-NBA again, back-to-back years. Right? So the biggest star outside of Tatum, because Tatum is gone, is Brunson. That's what I'm saying. All right, guys. I've been doing a lot of yapping, man. Let's listen to Tibbs, man. Tibbs is pretty upset. Let's listen to Tibbs. Oh man. Okay, here we go.
To start the third, didn't play well there. You can't afford to do that.
Tom, when they have Drew Holiday on Cat, what ways can you take advantage of it? And why do you guys not?
Well, because you got Cornette on the backside coming on the double.
And Cat only has 2 3-pointers for this whole series. Why is he had trouble getting off?
Well, they're staying with him. They're playing small, so they're up on him. And he was in foul trouble.
Tom, what did you see from Derek White in the first quarter that allowed him to kind of?
Yeah, he got space. He great shooter. Can't give him that type of space.
You talked about the way the guys came out at the start of the second, third quarter. I knew you had warned this morning that you kind of expected what the Celtics were going to bring. Do you kind of feel like there was any let up of we're up 3-1?
Well, yeah, I don't. I knew the type of aggression that would be involved in this game, and so I think you got to understand that, and it's a battle on every possession.
Tom, start of the third quarter, they go on that run. You left your starters in for the first 8 and a half minutes of the period.
All right, so Tibbs, I love what he said there, man. You heard what he said, right? You saw him say that, and he was in foul trouble. You saw him smirk a little bit, right? That's a jab right there. He's not going to say certain things because he doesn't really want it to get kind of crazy, right? He doesn't want to get fined or anything like that. So he's, he threw a little jab there. He threw a jab by kind of letting it be known like what's going on. He's not. But what I loved what he said was that he knew that there was going to be a certain amount of aggression. Listen to the words that he used. Aggression being played tonight. And I'm glad he said that because this is where why I was beefing the way I was earlier about these calls, because the refs got to know that there's going to be aggression on both ends. Like the smoke and mirrors is that the Knicks have 40 free throws, but a lot of that was in the first quarter, and the rest of that was in the fourth quarter. Outside of that, the Knicks didn't get to the line. I think in the third quarter they got to the line maybe once or twice, if that. Boston went to the line like 16 times, 17 times in that third quarter. It was insane the amount of free throws they got. So that's why I love that Tibbs said the aggression that's needed. Like you gotta let the game play out as the refs, right? You gotta let them be aggressive. You gotta let the Knicks be aggressive. You gotta let that play out. But I think Tibbs knows, or is that they're not gonna allow that, man. The Knicks were not gonna win tonight at all. And as good as the Knicks played in the first half, I knew we were in striking distance. I knew Boston was going to play their best because they're home. But we weren't going to win tonight, man. We were not. They wanted that game Friday night in the Garden because there's no way, like Tibbs stated, You got to allow the aggression to play out. Both teams are aggressive. It's a closeout game. You got to let there be drama. There was no drama tonight at all. There was none. There was none. The league did not want that to happen. No drama, man, at all. Because before you know it, the game was over. They were blowing the whistle on everything. They were controlling the pace of the game for one team, and they were limiting the other team. NBIC, here he goes. The C's are a better team, leaps and bounds. He said leaps and bounds. They won the chip in a convincing manner. We haven't made it out of the second round. Tatum and Brown is a bigger draw against the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think you're wrong, sir. I think they're a bigger draw, yeah, because they're Boston. But I don't think they're that much of a bigger draw than us. I think they're probably equal because we're market one. We're in New York, man. So the Knicks get all the viewership. They know that. When the Knicks are good, it's great for the NBA, period. Everyone knows that in the league. So if we're playing the Pacers, if Boston's playing the Pacers, the league is happy, period. I'm not going to sit there and say the league wants us or they want Boston. I think they want one or the other. But what they do want is they want to continue to try to make money. Dollars and cents rules this thing here. And so with Tatum being out, that kind of cost them some dollars. And they knew that. I'll put it like this. The way the Knicks started off the series, they knew that this was going to probably go 6 or 7. That's what the league is banking on. So they're looking for that revenue on the back end. When Tatum went down, that kind of stumped that a bit. They probably didn't want that to happen. So that's why Friday was a must. Vaughn Allen, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Nasty loss from the boys tonight. Nasty loss. NBIC says, anyone ever wonder why the world champs have led by 20 in every game and still allow the Knicks to come back? It doesn't make no sense how you slice it. I think it's how they play, NBIC. But a big part of that, NBIC, a big part of that, you want to hear the truth about that? To Tibbs' point, they allowed a lot of aggression to play out in those games. They did not think the Knicks were going to come back, right? So the Knicks made it a series. The league or the refs allowed some type of aggression for that to happen. If they were calling every single call and they were making every single call, NBIC, the Knicks wouldn't even have any room to make a big comeback because every call would be called. They're calling it like it's a regular season. That's what the third quarter felt like tonight. But if you're paying attention, for the playoffs, they're letting a lot of stuff go, which they should do. Tonight, that didn't happen at all. At all. And so that's where, the frustration comes as a fan because you kind of feel like you kind of were duped out of this, right? Vaughn Allen says, Josh is making me sick, man. Passing open looks up to drive into 7-footers. Yo, listen, Vaughn, Josh was knocking it down tonight, man. A couple of times, yeah, but Josh was awesome tonight, man. He had 24 points. Vaughn, Josh was 5 for 9 from 3, man. Maybe other games, Vaughn, but tonight he was letting that joint fly, man. He was letting that joint fly. Josh played great. He was great for us tonight, man. This Rover says, Josh knocking it down for us is a bad thing, LV. No. Come on, man. That's a good thing, man. That's a good thing. That changes everything for them defensively. It does. They had a lot of freedom this Rover tonight, man. They had a lot of freedom. They was doing a lot of pushing and grabbing and stuff like that. The refs let them get away with a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. So it gives you the freedom defensively to be, like Tibbs said, be very, very aggressive on that end. Because you're allowed to do different things. You know what I'm saying? You can grab, you can push, you can bump. You drive into the rack, you get hit on your arm. They're not calling that. So they letting it rock. Nice. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rocking with LV Live tonight. Nasty loss on them boys. Nasty loss, man. Nice says, we don't know how to create screens for others, man. Why not create quality screens for Cat? Yes, our big best 3-point shooter. Yo, listen, nice. I agree with you, man. They gotta Tibbs has got to make sure he's getting him touches, man. There's too many times he's not getting enough touches, I feel, man. Cat was 5 for 11 tonight, man. He got to be in the 20s. He got to be in the 20s. You see how Brunson only played 33 minutes, man. He got fouled out. Cat only shot the ball 11 times. Bridges can't be shooting it more than Cat. Yeah, Bridges shot 14 times tonight, man. Josh shot it 15 times. Cat ain't getting no touches, man. None. He's got to get more touches, man. I don't know what's going on with that. Vaughn said, shaking my head, I counted 5 looks he didn't shoot open. Nah, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he's not going to shoot all of them, Vaughn, because he's not really too confident. But Vaughn, if you're getting 5 for 9 from 3 from him, you got to love that, man, from him. This Rover says, yes, and if we score more points than the other team, we win. Crazy how a competitive sport works. That's pretty funny. NBIC says Phil Jackson has been calling out the refs since the 90s. If we expect the refs to do their jobs, forget it. We will lose. If we don't hold a large lead, we will lose. Nah, that's not true, man. I think, let me tell you this. I think I put it to you like this. Friday's going to be a lot more friendly whistle. It's going to be a lot better whistle than it was tonight. Tonight was this was a must thing. Like they knew they wanted to go for it to go to a game 6. Money wise, they can't allow that, man. You know what I'm saying? It was just that third quarter was insane. What I saw. Nice says Knicks team looks like the 3 Villanova Musketeers club: Brunson and Bridges, then Hart. I love the squad, but we can't have a silent cat if we do. What was the reason we even got him? Yo, listen, nice. Let me tell you something. You're 1,000% correct. 1,000%. Yo, Cat's got to get the ball more, man. But that's a Tibbs thing. That's him. He's got to make sure that Cat's getting touches. He can't be just letting Brunson just be out there just doing whatever. Like, don't get me wrong, he's the captain. We get it. But you got to establish the big man. You got to let Cat get touches. He can't be shooting 11 shots. He's got to get down there more, man, and let him do him. He can't be. He's got to be more. But that's why, it's going to be important, this is off-season talk, but the Knicks are going to have to bring an offensive guy for Tibbs. Like, because, he doesn't, that's not his strength, and you could see it. So that's something that has to change. This rover says, but regardless, man, Josh is going for 20 is a bad omen because that means no one else can buy a bucket. That's not true, man. Listen, if he's going for 20, that opens up the court for everybody else to get busy. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, the game was right there, guys. The game was right there. When Boston was going on a run, we were right there knocking down shots, right? We were keeping it close. That 9 to 10 minute mark, I believe that's what it was. When we went into bonus, the game changed because we stopped being aggressive defensively. We weren't allowed to do things because they were calling everything. So when we still try to be aggressive, they're calling bumps. They're calling everything. They're going to the line every time we turn around. They're at the free throw line. So that changes the whole dynamic of the game. And then after that, the floodgates open. Vaughn says, side note, man, Mitch was supposed to be inserted into the third way earlier. Yeah, Vaughn, listen, man, I think Tibbs did drop the ball there. I think he was trying to weather the storm. I think he was trying to see if his starters could kind of come back, and I think that's what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? I can't really get mad for Tibbs about that, man, because I get it. He was trying to kind of stop the bleeding, but it didn't matter, man. They already knew what they were doing, man. This was all, it's insane, man. Insane. Nice said, that's seen on my occasion, on many occasions, Brunson, Bridges, and Hart telling Cat to go down to the paint. If we had Randall, I guarantee he would have forced someone. Yeah, Randall would have been throwing punches. Randall's a different type of guy than Cat. Cat's a really kind of smooth and laid back cat. Randall's a bull in the China shop, man. He's a bull in the China shop. Like he messes things up, man. Messes things up. You got to have an alpha dude to be able to deal with Randall. Brunson's not that. Randall is okay in Minnesota because Ant is an alpha cat. He gonna tell Randall, yo, get out the way, man. Move. He gonna be on that type of time. You see what I'm saying? So you need a guy like that to be with Randall, because Randall knows I'm the clear number 2 here. You understand what I'm saying? When he was over here, he thought he was still the number 1 with Brunson, and that wasn't the case. So they're just different type of cats, man. But I do agree with you. Randall would have been, Nice as now I see why they wanted Randall out of here. Yeah, man, he's a different type of guy. He's a different type of guy than those other cats. You understand what I'm saying? He was struggling. We knew Brunson was the man. Randall wasn't going to let go of that mantle. Cat falls back easily to Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Vaughn Allen says Mitch has been a dip. Yo, Mitch has changed everything, man. Mitch, yo, listen to me. Mitch is killing dudes in that Baja, man. He's getting busy. Man. It's so evident that we're a better team than these guys now that they lost Tatum. What I saw tonight. The Knicks were right there in striking distance in that third. They couldn't pull away from the Knicks. They were coming down, hitting shots, bang. Then Josh Hart would bang a 3. Then you see Brunson scoring. Then you saw Bridges, right? They couldn't pull away from the Knicks. That's why I'm stressing that 9-minute mark when they got into the bonus. That changed the whole ball game. Vaughn Allen says no more Cam in this series. Yo, Cam, he's been stinking it out, right? Yeah, he's been stinking it out. Discover says Cam is overthinking, man. All he needs to do is snipe one open threes. Yeah, right. Then that'll get him hot. I can only imagine Tibbs' mind telling him to stop doing that. Yo, word up, man. Word up. Yo, he's yo, man. I don't know why. I would have loved to see Delon Wright in this series, man. I think he would be great defensively, especially on a guy like Derek White, and definitely on Drew Holiday, because Drew Holiday's just pushing campaign out the paint. I don't know why he want to maybe try to get in a guy like Delon Wright, who's bigger and stronger and can kind of handle that right there in the campaign. And also, too, the great thing about Delon Wright, what we saw, is that he's going to run the offense. He ain't going to come down there looking to jack up shots. He's going to be looking to try to facilitate and get guys involved. Now, if he's open, he'll knock it down. But he's a pass first, shoot second guy. Campaign is strictly shooting first. Right? So I don't know. So that's where, to me, Tibbs dropped the ball there also. So. Vaughn says, yeah, right. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, Wright is tough, man. I would love to see Wright out there. He's big, too, man. He's about 6'5". Good size. What you need in a series like this. This Rover says Cam doesn't get shook, yo, man. He doesn't get shook, but he's a nut, man. He's a nut. He don't run no offense. He wasn't getting shook against us when he was still in the Sixers. Yeah, that's cool and all, Rover. Get this Rover. That's cool and all, but yo, man, we need somebody to run the offense, man. He ain't even running the offense. Like, he's just coming out there. You think we at the Rucker, man. And he just chucking up shots. I'm like, yo, dogs, what are you doing? And then he's coming off of screens, just fumbling, stumbling the ball. Like, I'm like, yo, my man, run something. What are we running? Call out a play. He ain't calling out nothing. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying, with the campaign experiment. Also, too, he's not even giving Shamet no burn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would like to see Shamet, man. But this series is over, so I think the Knicks win Friday. You know what I'm saying? So those guys, we gotta see exactly what the playoff rotation is going to be next series, because I think the Knicks win Friday. Vaughn says, "LV, did you think no, Vaughn, it was winning, Vaughn. It was 59-59, Vaughn, in the third. The game was right there. The Knicks were going back and forth with them. They're gonna play. They're gonna be tough, but that's why I stress what Tip said. Tip said there's a certain amount of aggression that comes with a game like this. It's a closeout game. They're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna be aggressive. You got to kind of let that rock. They didn't let that rock in the third. They calling everything. I'm like, yo, my man, come on. Do you want us to even have a chance here or not? And then you give our captain 5 fouls. I'm like, yo, come on, ref. You know, they know better than that. They know better than that, because they don't want to foul, because Brunson is going to keep eyes on the game, but they don't care, because it's obviously a message that's been sent that we won a game 6. Because I've never known any game to where the star player gets fouled out of a game. Where they do that at in the playoffs, they've never done that. Never. It's a joke, man. Come on, man. We already know what time it is. So, no, Vaughn, they ain't look sluggish at all. They look ready to go. But you could see that what happened in that third, the way the pace changed with all them calls being called and the fouls and the bonuses, it kind of got the Knicks rattled. Not even rattled. It kind of got them off their thing for a little bit. But, you know. Nick Yak, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. He said, thank you for not panicking, right? 10 fouls called on us. 5 against Brunson in the third, when maybe 2 would have been called against Brunson in the Detroit series. Yo, come on, man. Exactly, man. That's my point. Come on, man. Come on. Thank you. This is a joke, man. Like, come on. Like, you guys got to understand that. Like, that's why I'm not even like bent out of shape about how bad. Not like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Nick Yak said it right there. Thank you for not panicking, right? 10 fouls called on us. Bro, where Brunson? He said maybe 2 would have been called against Brunson in the Detroit series. Like, come on, they let him rock. Brunson, come on. He hasn't even gotten in any foul trouble this whole series. How is it game 6 with no Tatum? The league knows there's no Tatum. They know that. He gets fouled out of this game. He's the star of the game. He's the best player out there. He's playing for the Knicks. But you want to make it clear that there's going to be a game 6. This Rover said, no timeout call by the coach. No subs or nothing. This Rover, I listen. This Rover, I see your point, but I have to lean in on Tibbs' point, because I think this Rover, he was trying to keep those guys out there to stop the bleeding. This Rover, I think that's why he did that. So I get it with you with the Tibbs thing. I have issues with Tibbs too, but I know for me, I might have did the same thing, this Rover, because I wanted to stop the bleeding. I wanted to stop the bleeding. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Nick Yak. See, 10 fouls in the third alone against us. Yo. You guys hear that, man? That's insane. That's insane, that number, man. Insane. but the bleeding was the fouls. That's a good point. That's a good point. I see both sides. I see exactly what you're saying. Because you're saying call a timeout to stop the bleeding, get Brunson out of there. But if you take Brunson out of there, who are you going to put in this role? Are you going to put in Campaign? You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like he would have came in and changed up pace. No, he would have been on the same nonsense. But this Grover, you take him out, cool, right? Here's what I'm saying. I agree with what you're saying. Call a timeout, take him out. But take him out and put who in? We're already in the bonus. We're already in the bonus. So where are you going to get your offense from to kind of try to stop the bleeding? So it's like you got to pick your poison. All right, I'll just let him stay in. I'll let him rock. You see what I'm saying? Because if you take him out, now who's going to run the show to stop the bleeding offensively? Like, who's going to do that? At least you know what Brunson, there's a possibility he could do that. You put in Payne or whomever else, the game probably would have been way out of hand than what it was. I'll put that on right. Yo, word up. But I'm not a tipster. I'm just a fan. Listen. I agree. I hear exactly what you're saying. I do. I see exactly what you're saying, but I see the other side too. Because if I put Campaign in this Grover, where's the offense going to go? Like, it's going to go to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I got to kind of, you know, you're not wrong either way is what I'm getting at. NBIC said it's the NBA playoffs, man. We're going against the defending champs. Listen, I agree with that. I'm all for that, man. And I'm glad you said that, sir, because that's exactly my point, what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? So Nice says MSG needed a game 6 to squeeze this record number ticket prices. Yo, nice. That's what I've been saying, man. That's what I've been saying. Listen, this is all. Listen, man. This is a money grab. You got this is easy, man. The Knicks were playing really, really good tonight, guys. They were playing really, really good, really, really good. Them fouls started coming. Like Nick Yak said, we got 10 fouls called on us. Brunson had 5 alone. So he had half of the foul calls. They're at the free throw line, so that takes away all the aggressiveness defensively. That allows them to be freelancers. Wow, now you see Brown when he was doing to Josh Hart. Let me play the clip, man. Let me pull it up. You saw what he did to Josh Hart, right? He grabbed him in his, you know what I'm saying, in his stuff, man. Grabbed him up. That's why Josh ripped on him like that. Like, yo, my man, what are you doing? It was some dirty stuff, man. He came around. Look, Josh.
So long for these two division rivals. This should just be a double technical.
You see what I'm saying? So when he came around, he grabbed Josh.
The retaliation from Brown
in between like his crotch area, like he yanked at him like that. That's why Josh got mad. Look at Josh like, yo, come on, man, what's wrong with you? This guy's out of control, man, and the refs weren't going to call it. That's why the refs weren't going to call it. They was letting them rock. That's why that happened. Because Josh had to tell him, yo, my man, get off, yo, and they not calling that. But on the other end, they calling everything. So that's why you saw the frustration from Josh, because he's like, yo, man, you letting this dude grab and pushing it. So that's why, once again, like I said, what did Tips say? He said the aggressiveness. You gotta let it rock. It's a game that they don't want to go home, and we're trying to close it out. So you gotta let it be somewhat aggressive in a sense. You can't be calling all for them and nothing for us. That's why you saw the frustration from Josh. Nick Yak said they're pushing it back to Hart, and we didn't shoot a technical. Yeah, they gave him both techs for that, but it should have been a foul initially. Nick Yak, because they was calling that down there. They was calling a little ticky tack. So that's why you saw Josh's reaction. Let's take a look again.
This should just be a double technical. The retaliation from Brown.
So watch this. That's a foul right there. Right there, he's grabbing him. Josh is like, yo, get off of me, man. Then they call it. They didn't even call the foul. Then they call the tech then, and then they looking at it. Then they call a foul.
This should just be a double technical.
So what I'm saying is that they allowed Boston to be that way, but they didn't let us be that way. This is easy to figure out, man. And so that's why Josh got like that. Usually Josh keeps his cool. He'd go talk to the rest, but he'd keep his cool with players. He don't really push players. He don't get involved with that. Nicky X says game 4, he waited to put Mitch in the fourth. So Boston was 5 fouls away from Mitch going to the line and hacking Mitch. I think he wanted to do that again and kept waiting. Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. He said, I agree, but after no foul, a player pushes a player, turning around, causing a scuffle. Yeah, man, because he's like, yo, come on, man. Because Nick Yak, initially, that was a foul that he did. First of all, he ran through him with the forearm. Boom. And then Josh is like, all right, whatever. I'm going to set the screen. So now he's hooking Josh. Now he's hooking him from the crotch and grabbing him and doing all this extra stuff. They didn't call no foul. Josh is ripping on like, yo, come on, man. Yo, y'all got to call something. You know what I'm saying? Then he pushed Josh in the back. So, but my thing is, the ref should have been saw that. The way they're calling things left and right for the Knicks down there, they should have been seen that. They should have been seen that. So that's why I was laughing during the game. It was hilarious to me because I said, okay, this is clearly obvious what they're doing here. But I do it shouldn't be a double tech. I understand what you're saying, but they're gonna make it a double tech because it proves my point once again, right? So this is all a joke, man. NBIC says, when is game 7, emotional players go home? Nah, man. No one's being emotional, great one, man. Come on, man. No one's being emotional. It's the heat of the battle, man. If you're not playing with no emotions, man, then what are you doing out there in the court? You want to see some fight, man. You're not going to sit there and let a dude do that to you, man. You're not going to allow that. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing too much in that moment, and the refs didn't call it. Nah, man, nah, I ain't with that, man. You gotta cut that out. So yeah, man, it's tough loss tonight for them boys, man. Tough loss from them boys tonight, man. Tough loss. All right, people, listen, that's my show, man. Listen, I'm gonna get up out of here. Listen, tough loss from them boys, 127-102. I will be back Friday to discuss Game 6 in the Garden, so the Knicks can close things out. All right, but listen, people, that's my show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button, people. Also, too, if you're watching this on a replay game, please subscribe to the channel. And also, too, please leave comments because I do respond to comments. All right, people? So listen, I'm LV Live. That's my show. Once again, I will be back Friday so we can get this win, man. Let's get this win and close things out and, pretty much take care of them boys from Indiana as well. I'll head to the finals. All right, people, but listen, I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.